What's up, Cowboys Nation? You're tuned to Attack on Cowboys. If you thought that game against the Giants was comfortable, think again. What a mess of a thriller that should never have been. Jerry Jones wasn't waiting around. He made a move the second the whistle blew, clearly a reaction to our missing pass rush. To break down that move and why it had to happen, I've got Terrence Parsons Jr. in the house. TP, appreciate you coming through. We need your tape study and hot takes on this one because the pass rush was non-existent and ownership answered the call. Quick interrupt, before we get into TP's breakdown, if you're into fast, unapologetic Cowboys coverage, hit subscribe, smash that like, and ring the bell now so you don't miss our post-game deep dives. Alright, back to the film. TP, first impression, did Jones do the right thing? Walk us through the play that exposed our weakness and why this roster move was inevitable. I want the inside details, who's responsible, what coaches missed, and what we should expect next on defense. Let's go. Man, watching that Giants game had me ready to flip my Prescott jersey backwards too. Dak played his heart out, but it was obvious the defense needed help, real difference makers. Jerry Jones clearly saw it the same way and moved faster than we've seen in years to shore up the pass rush and the secondary. For a front office that gets criticized for being slow to react, this was one of the quickest decisions ever. And it mattered, adding a proven edge presence at just the right moment gives Micah Parsons and the rest of the defense a chance to breathe. The need for a true disruptor on the line and stability at corner and safety was glaring all night. If you look at the tape, it felt like flashes of 2020 all over again. The rush wasn't getting home, the back end couldn't hold up forever, and an average Giants offense suddenly looked unstoppable. Moves like this show Dallas isn't going to let that become the story of the season. Bottom line, Jerry's timing signals a win-now mindset. This signing isn't about hype, it's about keeping the Cowboys in position to compete for a Super Bowl while Dak is in his prime. It's bold, it's necessary, and it's exactly the kind of urgency fans have been begging for. Flying back from New York before the game, I ran into a handful of Giants fans on their way to Dallas. They weren't even talking smack, they were just happy to show up. Everyone in the building expected a routine Cowboys win, and almost nobody on earth thought New York would hang 37 points on this defense. Yet here we are. All week our own community was predicting blowouts, 40-7, 35-10, easy business. Dallas did its part on offense, but the defense turned into a jailbreak. For all the criticism Jerry Jones gets, this latest roster move shows he's determined to be aggressive and prove himself right. He's not sitting on his hands, he's trying to plug holes before the season slips away. I'm thrilled to leave with a win, because these are exactly the kind of games the Cowboys used to lose. But let's be honest, playing like that leads to a 9-win season, not a championship run. Chicago is up next, and they can score too. If this defense doesn't tighten up quickly, we're staring at a repeat of last year's collapse against Detroit. Micah Parsons can't do it alone. Without a consistent rush and a healthy secondary, the whole unit starts to look like 2020 again. That's why Jerry's urgency matters now. Dallas has the offensive firepower, but the defense has to match it every single week. Everybody's asking the same question right now, will Devon actually change things for this defense? He's got burst off the line and a reputation for disrupting plays, but until we see it on the field, it's just potential. The truth is Dallas can't rely on one player to fix what's been exposed. This Giants game should have been a showcase for the pass rush. That offensive line was patched together and their quarterback isn't exactly a runner, yet our defense stayed in zone and got picked apart. That's not just a scheme issue, it's a personnel issue too. Without reliable corners to hold up in man coverage, the front four can't get home fast enough. Look back at the tape, after New York's left tackle went down, that should have been the moment the Cowboys took over. Instead, only Kenny Clark flashed, a few pressures, a big sack up the middle, while the rest of the defense looked flat. Kenneth Murray made some plays but also gave up chunk yards. It was a hard watch for anyone who expects championship-level defense from this team. Yes, the game was exciting and yes, a win is a win. But if you're looking at it analytically, the Cowboys need more than one signing. They need a collective step up in aggression, discipline, and personnel if they want to keep this season from turning into a week-to-week roller coaster. Ugly or not, a win is still a win. These are exactly the kinds of games the Cowboys used to let slip away, falling behind early, never recovering. This time they answered the call again and again in the fourth quarter. That resiliency matters, but the way they had to do it raises real questions. The play calling showed flashes of brilliance and a few head-scratchers. Big runs like Javonte Williams broke open made the defense look shaky, but on offense Dak stayed composed. When protected, he spread the ball well and the route concepts created openings. The issue is execution, especially at receiver and tight end. Targets like Pickens and CeeDee Lamb have to be featured and finish plays. Drops in the end zone and crunch time have killed drives 2 weeks in a row. Jake Ferguson is steady but limited, he benefits from Dak's trust more than his own upside. Those missed opportunities are the difference between comfortable wins and last-second survival. Even veterans around the league are watching and reacting. It's clear the talent is there, but until the Cowboys clean up the drops, shore up protection, and tighten the defense, every Sunday will feel like a coin flip. Credit to S.H. Williams for the late heroics, but Dallas can't keep living on heroics alone if they want to be more than a 9-win team. Watching that game, one thing jumped off the screen: the Cowboys need a true ringleader up front. Micah Parsons is elite, but even the best pass rusher can't do everything alone. A dominant edge presence who sets the tone can free up everyone else on the line, and right now Kenny Clark is the only one consistently flashing. He's been disruptive, but he's not Chris Jones, very few tackles are. Without a complementary punch off the edge, Dallas front can't dictate games the way it needs to. Against the Giants, Russell Wilson had far too much time to throw. Any time a quarterback can take a full drop, pat the ball, and launch deep, the rush isn't getting home. That's not a scheme problem alone, it's a personnel and execution problem. Sam, Donovan, Dante, somebody has to win one-on-ones and collapse the pocket so quarterbacks don't treat the Cowboys like a practice drill. The Clowney pickup is meant to change that clock. Even if he doesn't pile up sacks, his burst can force quicker decisions, sloppy feet, and rushed throws. Dallas has to start creating that chaos now, not later. Until they find that true leader on the edge, someone who raises the level of the entire front, this defense will keep living on the brink instead of controlling the game. Adding Clowney should at least force quarterbacks to speed up their clock, but there's no way to know how quickly he'll be game ready. No training camp, no preseason snaps. Dallas has to hope he's in shape and can contribute immediately, because the defense needs help right now. Credit where it's due, the front office moved aggressively, regardless of whether it's about proving themselves right after the last trade or not. But one move won't fix everything. More reinforcements are needed if this defense is going to match the offense's level. Dak and the passing game are doing enough to win, the other side of the ball has to be lifted. This Giants matchup was supposed to be a layup. Dallas has dominated the rivalry for years, and everyone expected another routine win. That mentality might have backfired. The Giants clearly came in with a chip on their shoulder, played loose, and pushed the Cowboys to the brink. It was a reminder that nothing is guaranteed in this league, no matter the streaks or the stats. For Dallas, the takeaway has to be urgency and focus. You can't count on history to win games, you have to bring it every week. The roster is talented, but until the defense plays with the same edge the Giants showed on Sunday, the Cowboys will be living dangerously. That fourth-quarter decision was the real turning point. If they'd taken the 3, we probably avoid overtime. Small choices like that swing games. Still, we've already made one splash signing with Clowney, now we need 2 or 3 more moves on defense to make this team complete. That's not even counting returnees. Even with them coming back, reinforcement is required. On offense, we're fine, Dak and the scheme are putting up points. But the running back situation? If we're not starting Jaden, then we need a real upgrade. Miles hasn't convinced me, I'm already out on that experiment. The front office has to keep working the phones. This game exposed a lot, too much pressure on Dak, too many hits, too many blown assignments. If Micah and the crew don't get the help they need, teams with real pass rush threats will feast. The stunts and blitz pickups looked sloppy, communication and footwork have to improve, fast. Look, I'm glad we won, you can't deny the relief. But wins like this are warnings, not proofs. Dallas has the talent, but until the defense adds playmakers and starts controlling opponents instead of reacting, every Sunday will feel like a test. Appreciate TP for hopping on and for the back and forth, we'll bring him back for another deep dive soon. For now, celebrate the W, but keep the expectations honest. The work isn't finished.